What's up everybody? So we're back out in the shop with another daily vlog and we're working on the scrap knife build. So what we're doing today is we're going to focus on getting the bevels done, we're going to get the heat treat done, we're going to get the temper done, we're going to get acid etch done, we're going to get stone washing done, and then we're going to do the actual handle material that I chose for these. So I was going to use scrap pieces of just handle material and handle scales from other knife builds, but I want to try something out on these, and that's what we're going to do. So we're going to take our time, we're going to break this down, we're going to get this stuff done. Let's jump into it. Alright now guys, so I realized that I never showed y'all the drilling of the pinholes, but I lost that footage, so that's why we didn't have it, but y'all have seen me drill holes in tanks plenty of times. Now, what we're doing right now is we're actually marking the bevel jig so that we can keep the consistent placement of the knives as we go through all three knives. So this is just a little tip, trick type thing to help keep your consistency even. And now what we're going to go ahead and do is mark the edge on all three knives so that we can then scribe the center line for the bevels. And we're just using the calipers to do this. Now with this particular edge, I am leaving it a little bit thicker, about the thickness of a dime prior to heat treat. And that's just because I plan on grinding these down even more after the heat treat. So after the heat treat, they're going to be very fine edge, but prior, I'm leaving it at a dime. Now we're just using the bevel jig, and we're going to start working in that plunge line first, and then start feathering in towards the front of the blade, because we really want to set that plunge line and then move on from there. And knives this small do not take long to grind. I mean, I think I might have had 30 minutes for all three of them total grinding the bevels. And of course I'm using a 40 grit ceramic belt on this, so it hogged away the material pretty fast. Now we're going ahead and repeating the process on the second side, and you want to focus on getting that plunge line even. And then what I ended up doing was I went in and I even refined that plunge line a little bit more after I set it. That's what I'm doing right now, is just kind of refining everything and making sure they're both completely symmetrical. So now I feel comfortable that both of them are the same, and we can move on to the next step, which is just taking it and hitting it with our medium Scotch-Brite belt. This does a lot of work at removing a lot of the sanding lines, and I like putting this finish on there before we go to heat treat. It just makes the process after heat treat a lot easier. And what we're doing right here is we're actually using a 400 grit belt, and we're just basically smoothing the sides of the blades, taking all the little small scratches out and things like that prior to heat treat, so that there's one less step that we have to do after the blade is hardened. I'm just using a magnet, running it parallel with the belt. Now for the heat treat, we go ahead, heat it up to non-magnetic, and then go a little bit past that, and then quench it into peanut oil that's heated to 120 degrees. Now you have to make sure that in between each one of these quenches that you give the oil enough time to cool back down to 120 degrees. And I am showing y'all the quenching of all three blades, but each one you want to let that oil cool down because it will slowly warm up past that. So we just took the time, let the oil cool down, let the forge cool down, then ramped it back up and started it again. We're going to be tempering at 375 degrees twice for 1 hour each. Now, with the acid etching, we went ahead and we acid etched for 15 minutes, then we cleaned them with soap and water, then we acid etched for another 15 minutes, and that gives you that nice dark finish that you want for whenever you're about to stonewash it. So we did 2 rounds of acid etching for 15 minutes each time. Now we're just going to take our little homemade tumbler and we're going to put some WD-40 in there and just start shaking the heck out of this thing. Doing this for 3 knives was definitely a chore, but it was worth it. The finish on all 3 of them came out so nice. We're going to get it cleaned up. You're going to have a lot of little rocks in the holes and everywhere. That's what I'm knocking out right there. But this is the end result of that. Just a beautiful stone-washed, deep acid-etched knife. That's what that 2 rounds of etching does for you. Now it's time to go ahead and give them a little buff. We're going to buff everything because we're not putting handle scales on these. We're going to buff the whole entire knife. This just evens out the finish and gives it a little layer of protection. And we're using the gray compound and a soft wheel. Now for the handle material, we're going to be using this small paracord. And this is actual paracord. It's just a thinner version of it, but it's got the strands all the way through it, everything just like paracord. And we're making it to where it has a point like this, so that it's easier to feed through the last hole whenever we're doing that. But we want to take it, and I am going to show you this. I'm not going to make it super slow, but you want to just take your time and wrap it. If y'all want to see a video of me just showing y'all how I did this wrap, because it is a very effective wrap, let me know, and I will go ahead and do that and show y'all a breakdown of it. Now, what I like about this is having the pinhole in the back. This is how we were able to keep the retention on the paracord so that it didn't loosen up. And we just feed it through the hole as we're going through. It's where each side comes out like this. We just loop one side around, loop the other side around, and they come out the opposite direction. And then we do this one more time. Go back through. This is fun because by this point this is very tight, and then we still got to feed another one through. And all I did was I used a little piece of metal as a helper to get it through. This is the same little stick that I used to mix epoxy and things. I don't know where it came from, it's just a little metal stick that I found. And I've used it for epoxy mixing ever since. Now we're going to go ahead and pull this tight, and I could leave it like this. It's got enough tension on it that it would not unravel. But what we're going to go ahead and do is do some snake knots on it, and we're going to do that next. Now for a snake knot, I am going to show you this first one pretty slow. But we're going to loop it, we're going to run it through all the way to the back side, pull it back over, and then run it back through the loop. And then as you're pulling this tight, you just want to kind of keep it even, and then work it up, and then you want to crank the hell out of it. Just tighten it and pull it as tight as you can, and then we're going to repeat that process 4 times. And I do this same one for most of my knives. It's kind of my thing. I'll do 4 snake knots, just like this. And then I will leave a little space, do another snake knot, and then do one more. The whole point behind this space is it gives you a little gap to actually hang this up on hooks or just different things like that. I like having the gap. It's just a personal preference and kind of my little thing that I do. And then we're going to go ahead and singe the ends of this. I like these because whenever you singe them like this, they just go to straight black, and it leaves a nice clean finish. Okay, so let's go ahead and wrap up today's daily vlog. This is where we're at. So we've got 1, 2, and 3 knives that are the same. Now, I really like how these are turning out. I like the finish that's on them. Makes these bevels really stand out. Oh, love these. We did a real minimalist wrap on it. And then, of course, that snake knot lanyard on the back. This is really comfortable in the hand. Just a great little knife for pretty much just EDCing and just having on you at any time. But let's recap what we did today. So we did bevels, we did heat treat, we did tempering, we did acid etch, we did stone washing, we did handle wrapping. I mean, we did a whole bunch of stuff today, and I'm excited about this. The next thing that we're going to be doing in tomorrow's video is we're going to put an edge on this. We're going to make Kydex sheaths for them. We're going to probably chop up some stuff. So that's what you're looking forward to. Some of that awesome stuff. Now guys, if you haven't yet, give this video a thumbs up. Share this video or a video that I've done in the past that might be your favorite. And guys, if you haven't yet, man, bottom corner, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you get notified when our next video comes out. And guys, thank y'all for coming by. Thank y'all for spending your time with me. Y'all have an amazing day. I'll catch y'all next time.